This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Mick Tully for World Martial Arts Television. If you guys don't know who this character is, there is something wrong with you. It's the one and only LT Smash Nelson, who and who is now, according to the internet, so it must be true, you are the best in the world, pound for pound, bare knuckle boxer. That's what they're saying, right? Is that right, LT?
Yes, sir, man. They're saying that, but most of all, I believe that as well, and I put the work in behind that belief as well.
Well, you see, this is the thing. It was like in my research, I actually did watch you fight against Barry Johns, and I won't lie to you. You know, we're talking about a two different division belt champion, right? Going up against another 2-belt champion in BKB, which it has now, for the guys who haven't watched it, years ago it was a pretty grim setup, right? But now there's some serious American money behind it, and like BYB that have bought it out. The production values are up there with anything else, in my opinion. And literally, as soon as I saw this, I was like, no way, because obviously I got a lot of friends down in Wales. Barry Johns is, who gets 10-0 in bare knuckle boxing? Nobody, right? And we're talking about a guy who, like, he bashed James Sweeney twice, right? So he goes in, and then I watched your fight, and I was like, oh my god! So guys, the preamble to all of that was, as soon as you've watched this, check out, just look for LT, look at some of his fights. They're unbelievable. So this is actually quite strange for me to go into this now, right? So LT, usually when you see an online instructional, it'll be like BJJ Fanatics and it's Gordon Ryan doing Gordon Ryan shit yet again. Or it's some guy who's never had a fight in his life teaching you how to be able to beat somebody up who mugs somebody, right? And your product's completely different because, like, if you don't mind, I'm just going to, so for the guys who are watching at home, right, I'm going to get LT to expand on this, but you have competed in 6 separate different disciplines in combat sports, right? Including Lethwei. You're the only guy I know, apart from Dave LeDuc, right, who doesn't come from that neck of the woods, who's mad enough to do Lethwei. So what I'm going to go is we're going to go straight into what you're actually promoting product wise, and then if you don't mind, we're going to talk. I'm going to get a bit of a fanboy later, and then I'm just going to ask you about what's coming up and stuff. But you're like a bit of an anomaly in martial arts, where you're a guy who's actually done it, is still doing it, so it's not like an ex-champion, right? Still doing it, and now you're prepared to not just put an online program out there, but there's an interactive element to this. So can you explain that, please?
Yeah, 100%. And the coolest part about that too is I'm still growing as a martial artist as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm still learning. I'm still growing as well. And when I pick up new things along the line, new workouts, new combinations that I like, new footwork, I'm gonna add that to the course. I'm gonna add that for everyone to be able to see and use and keep on growing together. You know, I mean, that's what's really cool about me still being active in the sport is I see the nuance. I see the new things coming in. I see the new style of kicks, the new footwork setups, the new this, and I've grown in this martial arts game for a while, and the whole time I've taken things that I like from different athletes, different coaches all around the world, and all from different frames of martial arts, and I put it together in my mind in my own curriculum that I'm putting out there for everyone to use, everyone to see that wants to be a part of it. And the coolest part I think is that it's a community. We're creating a community. We're creating a branch that we can use. Not just me, but maybe there's someone else that's grinding, working hard. My mom does all these workouts with me. She's 71 years old, and she's
Cool.
killing these workouts, grinding every day, posting pictures and stuff. You know, if maybe I'm not motivating you, hopefully my mom or someone that's up there killing the workouts at that age, still motivating me even sometimes. It's awesome to see and create a community. And the coolest part is I'm going to be there and I'm doing the workouts. I'm doing everything with the people, with everyone. I'm suffering as well. You know, I mean, it's not easy. And maybe the people aren't, you know, if we're doing a run. So we're all going to run for say 25 minutes. We're all going to do that same run. I might be running a little bit faster than the new person in the group, but that's what I always teach and always say, like, go at your pace, but now you have a goal set and something to work towards in a course, in a curriculum, in a workout. So you're not just working out aimlessly in a way. You know what I'm saying? You're working towards a goal that's maybe higher up than you're ready to do at the start, but you know that we're there. I'm there to help, and I'm going to keep pushing you forward. And then you guys get up. I have people running at my speed. Dang, I'm going to need to improve myself and go up even higher, in order to keep people going. And then same thing with my course, like footwork, back almost. I got in the course. I have little videos of me doing 45-minute bag classes where I'm actually teaching the whole bag class for the people, showing them like, this is the style that I want you to do. Or you can just follow my bag class and do it. But if you want to adjust the bag class, just use our 1 to 10 combos that you should know by now doing these bag classes if you've been paying attention and following the course. And if not, we can go back to a video from the past and look at it, understand it. I try to go over it very slowly but properly, and then I show it as well to make sure people are doing it properly. And then also the cool thing is that, you know, if they have a question or anything, they can take a little video and send it straight to me, and you know, I'm going to be there to be able to answer their questions, send a video back. Maybe they're like, oh, what do I do with my right foot? I'm not doing this properly. It doesn't feel right. And I can show them, have someone take a video of me taking the steps and doing that same situation. And another cool thing is I show people that you can do workouts. There's no excuses. You can do workouts and footwork, some sort of thing, even maybe watching tape or something like that, or watching footwork or watching videos of me doing combos so you can understand it. There's always something to do no matter where you are. I can be in my backyard. I can be in my driveway. I can be in my living room, move some chairs around. I could be in a gym, whatever it is. There's options for you to work out and get something in if that's the problem that you're having in life. You know, I mean, you feel like you don't have time.
You said earlier about a community, and like
Yeah.
that's the thing that really interests me. Can you expand more on that?
Yeah, and just it's almost like you know, it's like a private group on a Facebook page, almost, in a way, if you want to say. Like, so say there was a Facebook, but just for our group of fans and people in this course, and we can each try to help each other grow, motivate each other. I post pictures, my mom posts pictures, Josh posts pictures, whoever else in the course, we're going to post pictures, you know what I mean? And says a little something about the workout. And I think it's really going to help people if they actually see, you know, anyone can write down, oh, I just did a workout today. I was like, it's nice to be able to see it. Like, be like, here's a picture of me, my mom, whoever it is, doing a workout. We just did it. We just killed it. I explained what I did. And I post it on this site, just like a Facebook, Instagram kind of post. And then everyone in our group it gives them a notification or whatever. They can turn it off just like any other site, you know what I'm saying, if they don't want to hear it ringing or whatever. But it gives them a notification, lets them know that people are doing the course, people are online. And I'm doing it every single day. I'm grinding with everyone. And you know, and some days I'm tired, and after my workout, I say, you know, that was a hard day today, but now I feel better about myself, about everything, and my day's actually better. And try to maybe that will make someone change their mind about not going to the gym or whatnot. And just like you were saying about the guy lifting his arm like this, I try to make it very relevant and to let people know, like, you're not going to start. Maybe some people will, but not everyone's going to start off with the same as me. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting those goals and the times that I do there to help other people have a goal to reach, an aspiration, something to get to. That doesn't mean that I want you guys to have that right away and do that right away. I mean, I want that, but that's something that I'm here to help with. I'm here to try to push you forward. I'm here to show you ways around. If anyone can't do the workouts at all, that doesn't mean you shouldn't do the course. That just means there's ways around. Okay, so instead of running on the treadmill and hitting the stairs, let's do a nice walk on the treadmill. Let's walk around the block 3 times. There's many things that we can do, and that's all a simple text post question away, a text right to me, whatever it is, and I'm good about messaging people back and getting back to people, especially when it's something I truly care about. This is something I care about. Like you're saying, I actually have love in the martial arts. I have love in this fight game, especially, and then it makes me feel amazing and good when other people see good things when I fight, or see good things in their own health. I've had many people that have lost tremendous amount of weight. I had a girl that I started with during COVID, actually, out in Colorado when I was still out there. And she, within the first 6 months, 7 months working with me, she lost like 45 pounds or something like that. And now, she was a very, very shy, quiet, everything kind of person. And martial arts brought out a different sense of her. And now she's had 5 fights. They're all amateur fights, but she had 5 fights. She never wanted to fight, never wanted to do anything, never even thought about it. But like just being in the martial arts game, getting in shape, she looks amazing now and is shaping a different. She's 46 years old. This all happened within the last 3 years of her life. So she had her first fight at like 43. 43 or 44. Now she's 46, looking better than she ever did in her 30s. And even, you know what I'm saying? Just from staying in shape, staying moving, grinding, and getting a new kind of confidence. And that's what we're trying to grow and build in people. It's not just about how you look and this and that. If you're confident about yourself, no matter what, it's going to help you be happier, and then help people around you be happier too, you know?
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's like, this is the thing, like, I'm a lifelong martial artist, and I say it all the time. First of all, it's never too late to be the person you were supposed to be. Yeah. And when you look in the mirror, when you look back and you look at that mess and you go, I was never supposed to be this guy. I was never supposed to be that girl. And then martial arts is so cool because it's such a paradox, because you're getting into it to beat people up. And 9 times out of 10, most of us get into it because we've got masochistic tendencies against ourselves. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's we're not beating them, but we're beating somebody else up, and they're actually really me, right? So that's gonna it's gonna lead me into, where did you get started in martial arts? Because that's what I'm interested in.
Well, I've always been like I've always played sports. I'm from South Africa originally, and I always say, like, growing up there, it wasn't like I feel like a lot of my people growing up, they show me video or pictures and stuff of growing up out here, and they were like out out in their neighborhood walking around with their friends by themselves. Like, I wasn't doing that in South Africa. You can't just go walk around randomly in South Africa. It's a lot, it's a little bit different. So me growing up was a lot of I'd be with an adult with my parents, and they'd take me to sporting events, sports, or I'd be in school. So I grew up a lot like surrounded by sports in school. And the cool thing about my parents is they let me they traveled a lot too. So I tried sports from all over the world, different sports, different athletics. And I chose, and I've always had a found love for extreme sports and contact sports. Yeah. Contact sports, extreme sports, anything that I can like check someone, hit someone, jump off of something big. I don't know. I like to do it. And I found martial arts, and martial arts is the best of all those worlds. Cause like, I don't know what more of a thrill you have than stepping in an octagon, a ring, a cage, something with another human being in front of your friends and family. That's a thrill to me. That's a thrill right away. And then you have to be in shape and you have to grind if you want to be the best. So that's another way I love staying in shape. I love working and trying to improve myself, and I like testing myself. And even if you're not fighting, these workouts that we're doing, these different things, you test yourself in a way, you test your mind, you test how far you can go. And there's never going to be an ending point. I'm sorry to say, like, go do my sprint workout. And then if you think it's too easy, go up like a 1 mile per hour, 5 miles per hour, and see if you can do it again. And see how easy it is. You know what I'm saying? There's always an improvement that we can do. I'm trying to improve every day still. I never think I'm perfect yet. You know what I'm saying? Ever. I'm never going to be. I'm always going to be trying to get to that next level. And that's a motivation that I have, that I love, that I found just changing my life around and getting into my martial arts more, and not just getting into it more, but putting my mind and like I've said, putting the work behind my belief. I have the belief in myself. I've always had belief in myself, but I changed my whole life and my career around when I put the work behind that belief, if that makes sense. Like, there's nothing in my mind that I don't believe I can do, because I grind so hard and I put so much work in, and I put all my effort into this. So when I go out that doesn't mean I'm unbeatable or this or that. That just means, like, when I go out there, I believe in myself, and there's no doubts in my mind at any moment. You know what I'm saying? I don't finish the fight like, oh, I could have done this, or I wish I did this. No, if I lost the fight, he had a better night, and I'm going to come back even better next time, sort of thing. You know?
Yeah. Well, you just hit the nail on the head, because that we live in a society where everything is goal driven. Yeah. But then once that goal's done, it's like, well, what next? So like. Right now, we've got everyone. It tires me when I hear guys say, I'm boxing training," and I'm like, against who? Well, it's a white collar boxing match. And I went, first of all, I'm really scared about anyone who do 8 weeks of training against somebody else who's only done 8 weeks of training and then punch each other in the head. Like, that worries me, right? And then secondly, is I've come to this revelation myself only recently. I got my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and it wasn't like I thought I was going to get like superpowers or anything, but I didn't realize I was going to suck as much as I did when I got my black belt, because I built myself up to get it. Then when I got it, and I'm like 55-year-old man going up against these like 18, 19-year-old blue belts who they don't have girlfriends. They're not interested in anything apart from jiu-jitsu. They're killing me. And then I'm like going, I'm a drywall contractor, plasterer in the UK as well. So I'm like, I've got a neck injury and everything. And I've had to look at it and go, right, okay, so I've got to reset all my goals again to incremental. Just what am I able to do? Am I able to do that better than I did yesterday? Or, which is the mad one as you get older, is can I just get it so the decrease isn't as quick? Isn't as rapid, because that's the thing that you got when you said that about your mum, right? I hope you don't mind. In the course of my in the course of my research, right? Even though you've got a real big online presence now and getting bigger with your recent win, dude, your mum gets more likes on YouTube than you do, brother. What's all that
I
about?
know.
Huh?
She always feels bad afterwards. I was like, no, that's awesome, mom, because like it's still like in a way putting eyes on me. So it's all. I'm like, I tell her, I was like, it's, anything is good. I love it. Like it's like the one. So the funniest one for me is they had her mic'd up for like I think it was one of my bare-knuckle Cerna fights or something like that.
Yeah, it was a soda
And
fight.
the
Yeah.
first time they had her mic'd up and she's going crazy. Blah, blah. That thing got so many views, and then the actual video of my fight got like a quarter of the amount of views
But,
as her thing.
but that was it. But
like,
that was the
oh,
thing. But that was the thing because it like yeah, as I was researching it, I was thinking about it, and it was like yeah, I watch more reaction videos on YouTube. Which is a strange thing, which is going to lead me on to. I just wanted your thoughts on this because all boxing's got huge now, right? Which ironically, we just had the fight there at the weekend, like DDD versus Anthony Joshua, which was an awful fight for Joshua. That should be the end of it now.
I know.
Right?
I heard. I didn't watch. I just saw the video of him face.
Yeah. He was eating the canvas. It wasn't good, right? But
yeah,
boxing, which is quite ironic because what we would consider legitimate boxing is sort of like that, whereas influencer boxing and character-driven boxing and personality-driven sports has gone through the roof.
100%.
And it was like, you know, Mike Tyson isn't going to fight Jake Paul now, and they bring in Mike Perry, right? That guy was getting cornered by his girlfriend 3 fights ago in the UFC, and now he's going to fight Jake Paul for a ton of money. So I'd just like your thoughts on this personality. Do you think it's just good for the sport in general, or because some people hate it, but I quite enjoy it.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't understand why or how you could really like hate it in a way. You know what I'm saying? So like, and it just like I'm saying, like with my mom's reaction videos or something like that. It might not be like me getting the exact attention, but it's still in a way circling back to me. You know what I'm saying? So in any sense, like people's eyes are on the fight sport. Yeah, obviously. Oh, oh yeah, I want to get paid millions of dollars too. Like that'd be awesome. You know what I'm saying? Go have 2 fights and just be like, oh, cool. No, everyone can be happy. The rest, whatever it is, that's cool. That like, oh, but do I hate on that? No, that's awesome. Like, I wish I thought of that sooner, or was a YouTuber, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But that's the day and age that that's what we're in now, and that's the day and age, and this is what people enjoy. So we have to, in a way, be a part of it. Maybe don't have, I don't know. just get in there and let it be.
Well, you see, this is the thing. It's like, as you just said, like it's all about getting eyeballs. That's everything. It's like, we live in it's a bit bad because we live in this world where I could insult you now. You could say something, go off. We could clip that up and get 10,000 views, boom, like that. Controversy. But there's, what we're getting out of that, you're getting nothing. It's like that's TikTok, right? But with the especially with the BKB, which and I've come right round because I've gone to a few shows in the UK, and a good friend of mine was a world middleweight champion, a guy called Shane Jr., really good guy, and you couldn't give away the tickets because the vibe in the arena wasn't very good. It was a bit too visceral for people, it was a bit too real. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
And then your fight against Barry Johns, man, it was like you were getting booed on the way in and cheered on the way out. It was.
I told people.
You did say that.
I told people that. I said it before in the interviews. I'm like, it's like I'm not an ass. I'm not like, excuse my language, but like I don't hate anyone. I don't have animosity. I have respect and love for anyone that steps in that cage and ring for me. So why should I have any kind of hate towards them? And I'm the type of person, like, I'm going to step in that ring and I put my everything. I put my whole heart and soul into my fighting, and I truly love it. And when I fight, like, I think it's a beautiful masterpiece that I do. And even though I'm looking like sometimes, whatever it is, and and I just love it, and I let myself be me out there, and And that's what I said before. It's like, you guys are going to like boo me on the way out, but you're going to love how I fight. There's no way you're not going to love how I fight and what I do out there and bring to the fight game in any sense. So, and it happened the same, and it happened just like that. They cheered me on, cheered me afterwards, got pictures. They were all respectful, great fans as well, man.
But yeah, well, you see, this was the thing. It was like, I rewatched your Canelli fight, the last fight where it was a draw, for the Gazette belt. And then Canelli goes and gets the belt and the Perrys are sharing it, right? So that's now, so the thing is, that's a big fight that could come up for you again, right? So that's going to lead me on to now, are you going to stick with like bare knuckle boxing, or are you prepared to fight UFC? Because this is the thing, right? Because it's the Wild West now in MMA, right?
Yeah.
One FC, like again, things change so quickly. So they just did a Vegas show at the Sphere, which looks amazing, and it looked like it was fighting in the Matrix. But every single fight was a decision. It sucked, and people.
No, I watched. I was not happy.
I tell you something. It was like, you know, when you were a kid and you do a virtual reality, go to a virtual reality place. That part of it was amazing, but the fights were like they were awful.
That seems like what it's becoming, and everything these, not everything, but a lot of stuff these days is becoming like all about. It's like what happened to the actual fight, like fights and stuff, and the fighters and people that actually want to put on a show. And we're entertainers. I'm an entertainer. I'm gonna punch myself in the face if someone ever boos me in a fight. You know what I'm saying? That's terrible. I'm doing something wrong. It's not just a fight is two-sided. I don't care what anyone says. You know what I'm saying? So if you get taken down and you're getting held on the ground, I've had that many times. I've lost a lot of MMA fights like that when I wasn't training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
When I was just relying on my stand-up skills back in the day and whatnot. And I was and I would get mad. Someone would take me down and I'd be pissed at the crowd for this and be mad at the guy for taking me down. That's my fault. It's my fault for not training the wrestling, not being prepared for that. I should be able to stop that takedown, get up, and now that's what's going to happen when I have another MMA fight or something. And that's the cool thing about my BYB contract that I signed. I'm the only fighter in BYB that has titles that's allowed to fight any gloved combat outside of 40 days. So I'm going to stay busy fighting glove combat as well. Whenever I get opportunities and whatnot, I'm ready. I still do 2 days of jiu-jitsu a week, even when I have my my bare knuckle fights coming up. I still, I stay active in all martial arts just to stay ready for. And I feel like that helps me get better in the bare knuckle. We have clinch, dirty boxing in the clinch. We have different motions and different strengths that you get from jiu-jitsu, different positions, different cardio, and you can't always train that just in a gym lifting weights.
Well, you see, this is the funny thing, right? So I've been watching a few of your fights, right? So, I'm 10th Khan in Muay Thai. So yeah, my clinch I used to really enjoy until I was every now and again when you get cracked with an elbow, it's not fun. And I got a hearing aid. I got a hearing aid now and stuff, which it doesn't really help. But it's certainly not. Good job that I've been married for 35 years, because it's not exactly the greatest thing for a lady to see, when you just sort of that disabled. But I was watching your fights, and I was watching the clinch, and this is the thing with Barry Johns, dude. That fight, that could have gone either. That first round, man, you ate some absolute. What were you thinking? Because you ate some shots.
I know. Well, I was like, I do exactly what I tell all my students and people not to do. Is like, don't rely on if you see me, I was standing out there and I was just watching.
Yeah.
It's like, why should I shouldn't just rely on me believing that I'm fast or me believing that I can see the punches coming or something like that. I should use that. I should use those little slips and motions off of my normal motion. So I should start. If you saw like towards the end of that round, I started just moving my head and moving my feet, and I started missing punches. It wasn't like all of them was me seeing the punches and missing them, but it was because of the motion that I created that made me miss a lot of those punches and have the flow and have the responses that I was able to create later on in the fight. But yeah, it was just, if you notice, I was just standing there. I was just standing there like looking at him, and I was just like, "Oh dang, he's actually
but
pretty precise and powerful. That's not fun."
but you see these first round, second round, and then third round. That you see that and like the thing is, the guy's a legend. Like you can't take anything away from him, because it's like I saw online a few guys saying, "Oh, he dropped him," and you're like, it's like you made him take the knee for the first time ever. You know, that never happened to him before. And what I was watching was, it was really good, because I'm a real geek when it comes to martial arts. So I was watching. It was like, when you're on the outside, that was where he needed to be, right? And then on the clinch, it was a whole different ball game. But it wasn't just the dirty boxing. So the dirty boxing, you know, unfortunately with a lot of people, because I teach Jeet Kune Do and Kali as well, right? And a lot of people go, it's dirty boxing. I go, that's actually an art form. So when you were saying about all of this, I'm like, no, when the guy knows what he's doing, especially when you get a guy, you know, when he throws over the top and he goes for the Jack Dempsey, and it's an overhook and the wrench and then boom, boom, boom. And you're like, if you know what you're looking at, that's like that you're watching a virtuoso at work. But if you don't know what you're looking at, it just looks like two guys who are trying to fight.
Like, just brawling.
Exactly. But there was a couple of times where you were fighting, and I was looking at the clinch and going, now I can see the Lethwei. Because there was a couple of times where you got him and he's trying to bring his head up. And I was thinking, if this was Lethwei now, the nuts going straight in. Yeah. Unreal. Because that was it. The one thing, and I'm being a fanboy here myself. So because I teach the Filipino stuff to Kali, in the Trigon, I've seen in a lot of your online stuff that a lot of this triangular footwork where you're cutting off the angle forwards and backwards. So like they call it in Kali the female and the male triangle. And I was watching that. And is that something that you've been taught, or is that something that you've just learned while you've been in the ring?
It's something that I mean, I've learned, but I've also been perfecting it with my my new coach Leo Perucci, and we call it a V step, and I've been like adjusting the V step amazingly, and now I've been adjusting the V step to be able to go like angling. So I'll throw like a right hand with a V step to shuffle into southpaw, my left hand to shuffle back into orthodox if they follow me that way, so like a double V step. And then we've been doing the same thing forward too, where I can like shuffle forward and then use the V step, and maybe they pull to me and retreat, and I can go forward with it as well.
A couple of times I was watching a few of your fights. Well, I used to look what Triple G would do was he'd step out. So say he was orthodox. So he'd step out, go forwards with the left, and then swing the leg, swing back and catch on the short uppercut. And it just, you know, when you see stuff like that, you just go, come on, this is an art form. And the bare knuckle boxing, this is the thing. For a guy who was like, I started in karate, so I was bare knuckle there. And then obviously you think I'm going to be a bit more civilized. You had to put the gloves on. And what a lot of people don't understand, so I watched a few of your interviews where you said on the bare knuckle fights, you can bounce back pretty quick. You know, 100%. you don't sustain as much damage in a bare knuckle fight as you do in like cuts and nicks and stuff. But you know that just like concussive like blows, like you know yourself, the worst thing in the world in a gym is put 14 or 16 ounce gloves on guys you can't fight, because they're going to brain damage the mofo out of each other. Yeah, because they're they're hitting with those pillows and they go mad, right? But if you don't mind me asking, like injuries wise, like do you think the bare knuckle boxing affects you more than say your MMA fights or your Lethwei fights or your Muay Thai fights?
I personally think that it's weird to say this, but because every other fighter I've talked to is like the opposite way around. But since I've been doing bare knuckle, I've never been able to like squeeze my fist tight like this or do anything and make proper fists. I've always had little space here, or let me see if like a little, like I couldn't close my fist all the way because of all the like wraps. There's always like a little space there. My knuckles always like pushed down a little bit, and all my Muay Thai, my kickboxing, my MMA fights, my hands have always hurt a little bit. And since I've been doing bare knuckle, I have like pain for like a week on the like to the touch, but then after that, like my hands have felt better than ever. I obviously I have quite a few more scars on my face now, so the scar game is definitely there. And for other fighters, a lot of them do break their hands. That's the one thing, scarring and breaking the hands for bare knuckle. But for me, just the scarring, man, I feel like my last fight with Barry Jones, I was back training the next week. I didn't spar. I didn't spar the next week. I waited 2 weeks to spar, but I was back in the gym doing my kickboxing classes, pads. I was back sprinting, working out, doing all my workouts. So, I was ready to go back in there, other than my stitches and not wanting to get my face cut open again in sparring.
But this is the thing, like, for a fighter, what did you have last year? Seven different fights, 7 fights?
Yes, 7 fights, 3 bare knuckle, 2 kickboxing, 1 Muay Thai, 1 MMA.
Yeah, you see that's staying busy. I mean, that's the sort of year that John Jones has nightmares over. I tell you what, that guy hasn't fought in ever, has he? But you see, if you don't mind, I'd like to get you back just to your online program, because we talked about the bare knuckle boxing, then you started talking about the kickboxing. So what arts can people expect to study, or what component arts? Because speaking to you, this sounds like you're teaching Jeet Kune Do without the politics. You know what I mean? It's like, trust me, if I could get out of the politics of Jeet Kune Do, I'd be well happy. But what are the component arts?
Well, like I call it like a kickboxing program, but my footwork, I have boxing combos in there. My footwork is made for any fight style. It's made for even the trigon that I fight in, the smallest combat surface. Like, people don't understand, footwork doesn't mean running away or or running and stuff like that. Footwork can be small, tight angles, and it should be small, tight angles. That's how you hide a lot of the steps. If it's big, people can see it. And there's times that, like, you make a mistake and you need to go big or something with your head or your motion. But those are the times you do that. You don't want to make everything big. It's a lot easier to see. When I explain things, when I teach, I might do it a little bit bigger so people can see that I'm actually doing something, but I'll explain it to them as well, that it's not like that, but we're teaching the basics, keeping our feet underneath us properly. That's going to help you in boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, any kind of fight sport. Moving laterally, forwards, backwards, taking tight angles. Once again, any kind of fight sport, I believe that's going to help with combos that set up kicks that set up punches. Anything that's flowing off that, and just showing people. And I also explain to people that maybe you're not a kickboxer, maybe you don't like kicking. We have all these same combos, all these same motions, or even my boxing combos, and you can just add a kick to the end. There's always something that we can add or flow with that makes our kickboxing, our Muay Thai, our boxing, our Lethwei work together. And that's the cool thing about this as well. I've got a lot up here as well, and I've got on that course we haven't released it or anything yet, but I've got a whole course of me teaching people how to hold pads. So if people want to teach their students, teach their kids, do this, I've got I teach people how I hold pads, and I've got my own style of holding pads as well. I love it, and I wish someone could hold pads the way I hold pads for people. You know what I'm saying? That'd be awesome. And I teach people how to do that. I've got more clinch that I can add. I've got millions of things that I can add and flow with. And, especially once it starts growing more and people have the want for that and the interest for it,
But you see, this is the thing, right? So we're in a really interesting time in martial arts. So I can't remember who said it, but it was probably Joe Rogan. So I blame Joe Rogan for nearly everything now. So hey man, I wasn't even into aliens or the Illuminati until I met that guy. Hey, and now I'm all in, brother. Yeah, so I'm all in. So he was saying that since 1992, martial arts has evolved more since 1990. So since the UFC, right?
Yeah.
Than it had done in probably we'll say 300 years maybe. And that's including like, judo, jigoro, kano, and like the Japanese dudes and Funakoshi doing karate and stuff. Because it was always, when you said earlier, I make it bigger. Yeah. When you're teaching 300 people, you have to show them this, right?
Yeah.
When you're teaching one person, you just do that, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's exactly how you teach. But it's like that we are in a state of it. We've got it now in martial arts, and especially in combat sports, guys who fight. Most of the really, really good guys don't. There's no more of this gym war bullshit. The years ago, all the guys had their great fights, like the old Apollo Creed. When Apollo and Rocky had the fight at the end of the gym. Yeah, and people should have paid for that one, right? But Max Holloway's famously said he learned how to fight playing a PlayStation, and then he just mimicked what he saw on there, and then he actually, I know it's a bit of BS, right? But he did do that, and like martial arts has evolved so much, and this was going to bring me back to your program. Years ago, martial arts was all about being able to defend yourself, right? And then tacked on at the end was making you feel good about yourself, lessons that you could learn that you could bring to the rest of your life. And I know I'm going to sound like Mr. Miyagi if you order him from Temu, right? But that bit where it's like, this makes your life a better person, right?
Yeah.
But now people realize that this is the truth. You're not going to fight in the UFC. You're not going to be that good. But what you might do is you might get up in the morning and just not have the anxiety. Yeah. You might not feel so depressed, because,
motivate someone around you, something like that, your kid, something, what I'm saying? Because you're getting up and doing something, even though you don't have to.
But that's the thing. Everyone always talks about it in jiu-jitsu. They say, what's the most important belt promotion, right? And it's the one that's around your trousers to the one around your gi. Because everything else is bullshit. White belt to blue belt, all the way up to black belt. You just got to turn up. But it's getting in through the door every day and knowing that this is why I think that jiu-jitsu, as much as I love it, I think we're missing a trick a little bit, because we're still getting guys coming in and getting eaten up on the meat grinder because they come in and they don't realize you can just flow roll. You can't. I'm not saying go full Gracie combatives and get a black belt without ever rolling with someone, but where it's for, this is what LT, I really mean this. What I like about you is it's a bit of a paradox with you, because you're the guy who's right. It doesn't get more real unless you got Russell Crowe, pardon my French, I won't say, I was going to swear there, well, but I know we get demonetized, right? If you got Russell Crowe and a lion with you and you're in Gladiator, nowadays it doesn't get more real than go, right, we're not going to wear gloves and we're going to do 5-minute rounds in, I'm really showing my age here, in something the same size as a telephone box. Now, kids, if you're watching, before we had mobile phones, we used to have to go into a box like the TARDIS, but it wasn't big in there. It was small in there. And that Trigon, as you said earlier, that's the smallest combat arena in the world. There's nowhere to run in that, right? And here's the mad thing. This is what, as we've been chatting, it's one that's blew my mind, is if there's one guy who should make this work, is someone who's going, well, I've taken it to that end of the spectrum. You guys, you don't have to follow me all the way up. It's good if you want to, but it takes a special sort of person to want to get repeatedly punched in the head. I don't know about you. I like it because it makes me feel alive.
Hey, 100%. It takes us, all this stuff, and even just getting up and grind. Like I go work out every day and do this, obviously, because I want to be the best fighter I can be. But it does, like we were talking about earlier, like when I get up and I feel like crud and I don't feel good and I'm like, I'm lazy and I want to just be lazy. And then I'm like in my head, I'm like, no. And I go to the gym. I'm not saying you have to every time you feel bad. Sometimes take days off, you know what I'm saying? Smart. But normally I don't let that happens too often, to take every single day off that you feel tired or something like that. So every once in a while, just get up and go to the gym. And when I do, man, the rest of my day, I'll call my mom or something like that and be like, I'm sorry that I was mean earlier or not nice earlier. And I feel happy and good. Not just little things, getting something done. It's just the thought, like, if I have a dirty house and I just put it off, and then all of a sudden I clean it, how much better do you feel about yourself? Not just your house, you feel better about yourself. You get what I'm saying? So that's the same thought that I'm saying about my working out, my program, me being there to help push you. Like, let me help you and help yourself, be happier, be a better you. And that doesn't mean like you're going to be a better person or this or that or this. It just means like you're going to be happier looking in the mirror, this or that. And that's naturally going to flow and ripple effect out to yourself, your family, your friends, your work, whatever it is. And I promise, I know this for a fact, that like, if you're a salesman, you're probably going to start selling more and doing more in that sense, because you're going to be more confident and happy, and people are going to see that and feel that and want to be around you.
Hey, LT, I'm totally on the same page. I always say this: if you live in a messy house, I know exactly what your thought process are, because if your house is messy, your brain is messy, right? Yeah. And it's like this is the crazy thing, right? We are primal animals living in a digital age, right? So we're like, this is the thing. Like, I've seen in one of your interviews before where you talked about being a pure warrior, right? Just going and doing this, right? Because we were not designed to sit at home watching The Bachelorette, eating Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew. We just weren't designed for that. We were designed to go out, kick ass, and take names, right? And it's the whole hunter-gatherer thing. It's like, why do we keep wanting to do stuff that makes us feel better about ourselves? Because somewhere right here in the lizard brain, it was like, you know what you got to do today? Get up, collect shit, mate. Do the right thing. Yeah, and it's unreal. So if you don't mind, there
wouldn't be that many people working out if that wasn't true, right?
Well, this is the thing. It's like either that or, trust me, Scientology are missing a trick, because all they need to do is get some treadmills and some kettlebells into some of their mad churches and forget about the alien bit and get Tom Cruise out and maybe get Batista in there or some beast, right? So, Batista, get Dave Batista. Dave Batista's looking good even when he's lost the weight, right? So, so there's two things. So I'm going to save the last question, my best question, till last, right? But before we do that, right? So first of all, how do people get information on this? Because I know, by the way, I should say, I'll preempt it. I know we at WOMA are going to try. We're going to be working with you to bring this forward, to get it out there, to get the eyeballs on it, but then to follow you, because I have to admit, as I said during my research, checking out some of your stuff, especially your build up to the Barry Johns fight, where just randomly you're doing stuff. I found it really amusing. I really enjoyed it, So first of all, how do people get you on social media? Then secondly, how do we get your program? And then lastly, I just want to know what your plans are for the rest of the year and then for the future. So first of all, social media.
Yeah, well, so you can find me on Instagram. It's at LT Smash 7. At LT Smash 7. And the real cool thing about that too is that I have a link in my bio that puts you right to my fight course, my online where you can purchase it. Go on and check out my. I've also got a Smash FTC, at Smash FTC. That's the Instagram for the fight course, and where people can sort of see little videos of me fighting, know about me a little bit, interviews, different things like that, and understand. And also the link will be there for the fight course as well. My Facebook is my full name, Laurent T. Smash Nelson. If it's hard to spell my first name, so it's LORAWNT-T Smash Nelson. And then I also have a fight page, like a fan page, if you will, that's just LT Smash Nelson for Facebook. And once again, like all of the links and everything are in my bio. and all that. And it's very easy to get a hold of it. And then once again, at Smash FTC for the actual page for the course, where we can click the link directly there.
Perfect. And then upcoming fights, you got anything coming in the pipeline, or?
Man, I hope so. I wanted to fight at least 2 more times this year, or at least hopefully get one or two. But I'm not sure who, where, anything like this. But BYB was talking to me. I just came from the fights in Colorado this weekend. They flew me out. So they told me I'm going to be fighting in January, supposedly.
Cool.
So I don't know, but they've told quite a few other people that. So I don't know if they're just doing like saying January and that's like a far way out, so they can maybe fill some people on a card, and then also if not, it's January we'll have a fight. But if that's the case, I'm going to try to get a gloved combat fight October, November, at least 1 or 2 glove combat. I was supposed to do I was so excited, so excited, but we went through like 5 opponents. They all turned it down, and then we couldn't find anyone. But I was supposed to fight October 11th, actually out here in Oklahoma at the River Spirit, like 20 minutes from my house, which I was super excited for, in a Muay Thai fight with small glove MMA gloves on.
Oh, well,
I've been wanting to do that since I've been seeing it on ONE FC. I was so excited, and then it's not happening. John
Wayne Parr. So John Wayne Parr, who, if you don't know who he is, then shame on you. You know nothing about martial. Not you, but I'm on about viewers, right? So John Wayne Parr.
I fought Cosmo Alexander. You know Cosmo?
Yeah, Cosmo. Yeah.
I fought him. My 4th ever pro fight in MMA was against Cosmo Alexander in Bellator when I was 21 years old. I trained 6 months at a real gym. I was training before that. I was training at LA Boxing. If you ever remember those places.
LA, but yeah,
like a fight fit gym. I was in there doing bag classes, thinking I was a real fighter, and I knocked out 3 people in Colorado, and I was like, I'm the best. No one can stop me. What's up? And then I went and fought Cosmo, and I did good, but I lost the decision. I went 3 rounds with him, stood up, but I did not. He made me learn what checking a kick was, what elbows were, what getting hit, every punch and getting hit was like flash, like holy crud. Yeah. But that helped me grow so much, because like for a while, no one I fought was even close to that. So it was like, whoa, I hit that level here. That's something for me to reach to and grow towards. I'm not close to that at all. I thought I was in my mind, knocking fools out. I thought I was. I was like, I'm the best. No one can stop me. And then I touched gloves with Cosmo in that fight, and I threw a right hand, and my right foot came forward with me, and I stepped and missed, and I saw his eyes just light up, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a long night. Teep to the face.
But the thing is, first of all, right, against Cosmo, that's the deepest water you could go into, right? And you didn't drown, right? And secondly, when you're on about LA Boxing, like you're now the only second person I know in combat sports legitimately who admits that they are in that. The other one, do you know who it is? Dana White. Because Dana White, he used to teach boxercise at LA Boxing.
That's what I was teaching there within 6 months of training, of like starting up there, and they like saw me doing okay, so they're like, hey, do you want to teach a class? And I was like, I don't think I'm qualified to teach a class. And then I looked at, and then I would like watch some of the other people teaching class, and they would be like, jab, cross hook, spin fist, backward spin fist, punch. That's what they were calling it too. And I was like, oh my word, I don't. And then I would just teach double jab, cross hook, low kick, jab, cross hook, flip, hook, cross, like simple stuff, and get people in shape.
Yeah, well, you see, this is the thing, right? If they're just getting into shape, great. But the minute a guy, I've had it a few times when you're sparring, the minute the guy drops the Shoney Carter, as soon as he does that Shoney Carter spinning back fist, if you don't take my head off with that, mate, I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you with that. So here's the final question, right? So I have to preempt it with this. So I'm a huge fan of, and when I say Springfield, I don't mean Springfield, Ohio, where they're eating cats and dogs. That's a joke, by the way. Trying to stay, trying to stay funny here. I'm a big fan of Springfield The Simpsons, right? So there is famously an LT Smash in The Simpsons, right? But you didn't get your nickname from that, did you?
No, I did not. But that's funny because I didn't know about that until like I think like I don't even know, 5 years ago or something like that. And I had it, and I got a new phone now, but I had it say, you know how you can like when you pull up the internet, you have all these different tabs.
Yes.
I had on YouTube the LT Smash tab saved up on my old phone. I don't have it anymore, but I remember I'm LT Smash.
I've told a few people in the past that I'm Armin Tamzarian. Do you remember who he was?
No, I don't. What was that?
Seymour Skinner. Do you remember Principal Seymour Skinner? That. Yeah. So Seymour Skinner, when he was in Vietnam, he was over there, and his mate died on him, who was Seymour Skinner. And when he went home to tell Seymour Skinner's mum that he died, she said, "Oh, my son's back." So Armin Tamzarian is actually Seymour Skinner's real name because he never had the balls to tell Seymour Skinner's mom. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so that's it. So if you only get that if you're a real geek like me. Yeah, but no. I have heard the reason why you're called LT Smash, and it was on a really good friend of mine. I'm showing my age. A really good friend of mine who's been on this show as well, right? So Jack Shaw's dad, Butty, is a really good mate of mine. But you're on Jack's show recently,
nice.
And yeah. That I'll tell you, Butty is one of the best guys. He's a legend. Jack's dad is a legend in martial arts in the UK. He's such a good guy. Yeah, awesome. Great guy. But I heard you explain the reason you got it, and the reason you got it. When I heard the story, it summed up for me everything about you, the way that you explained it. So if you could just explain why you got the name Smash.
Well, we were out. I mean, I should start off with like, I've always played contact sports and hockey, lacrosse, anything like there'd be a ball or puck or something sitting there. And if a big guy's skating or running towards it, especially a big dude, I don't know why, and I was running towards it, I would always just not care about the ball or the puck and just go straight for the dude. And and that was me. And then so I was out and down in Colorado, and I was out, and this dude he was selling bad stuff to people for overpriced money. He was doing bad things. Just a person that wasn't a good influence for all of us. He was older than all of us in town, and we had like a group of 4 of us in town, and he went, and we were talking, and things got out of hand, and he pushed over like the smallest guy in our group, right? The smallest guy in our group fell over, and I touched the guy on the chest. I'm like, why don't you pick on someone your own size? And the guy turns to me and hits me in the face right away, and I was like slightly taken aback. I was like, oh, he actually did it. Like, whoa, that was weird. You know what I'm saying? So my first reaction wasn't to swing. I've always been like pretty calm and stuff. And my first reaction was like, oh yeah, well, you try to do that again, it's going to be whatever, right? And so he did. He tried to swing at me again. And I remember just closing my eyes or something, and I threw a right hand, and I just hear right away. I hit him with the right hand, slept him, and then he fell back, smashed his head on the concrete. I'm probably what really caused it. And then my friends and I went over and hid and watched, and he was probably out for like 30, 45 minutes plus before the ambulance came and took him away. And then he got a flight for life to Denver Hospital, was in the hospital for I feel like I felt terrible. I never would want that for someone, you know what I'm saying? But it was what it was. And then I got back to school on Monday, and people were already in the hallway. Smash, smash, and then it just sort of stuck with me since high school.
Yeah, well, you see, this is the thing, right? So, literally, it's the same sort of thing. Yeah, that it was the same mess, exactly the same. It's exactly what I wanted to hear, because, if that isn't the epitome of what a real martial artist is, So you're there, you're sticking up for your friend. Yeah, and it's that whole in karate, there is no first strike and everything. Didn't want to know, gave him the opportunity, didn't go again. And then what I really liked about it when you said it on Jack's show was the fact that you turned around and it wasn't any of this bravado. Yeah, and I just hit him with this shot that I've been working in the gym for ages. And it was just like, yeah, I just closed my eyes and it was blind look. And then the fact that you had to get like the flight for life, and which is serious shit. You know, that's really serious shit. And then the immediately where you turn around and you just say, you know, you showed total remorse and everything. I'm like, no, that's a real martial artist. And yeah, if you want to know the truth, without putting you up, that's what a real man does. You know what I mean? 100%. It's like you do it, and then because if you're a complete a-hole, you turn around, yeah, I gave him what he wants, and he'll never do that to another human being. You go, man,
or start beating him up on the ground or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly that. But I'll tell you now, it's been an absolute pleasure. I was coming in here knowing what I was going to get anyway, because I'd done my research on you, and everything I saw, I liked about you. Next time you're over in the UK, I'll definitely come down, cheer you on, support you. Yeah. Wish you all the best. Wish you all the best for the future, man. And you know, the thing is, good shit should happen to good people. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to finish my bit here with, in a few of your other interviews, you've talked about a legacy, but not in a way that, you know, where people go, well, it's my legacy and my fight game and stuff like that. And I liked what with you, it was like, this is my job. This is my way of life. This is how I earn money. And then it's, you know, and this is because everyone's the same. A career ends, right? Yeah. In one aspect, but then a career starts in another. And like, as a teacher, man, I mean this, if anyone asked me to like say, validate a good teacher, you're there already, man. You know, you've seen it, done it, and bought the t-shirt, and then got blood all over the t-shirt. But you understand where I'm coming from. But bro, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. It's been a joy to talk to you. Right, mate?
Thank you guys for even having me and talking to me. Means the world to me, and much love.
No worries. Much love always. And Smash, before you do it, let me see the forearm, brother.
Smash time, baby. Smash power.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, bro. Thanks. Thank you.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
At your job, do you ever have to deal with a nose roller? How about a snub pulley? Well, if you're installing a new conveyor belt system, dealing with the different components can sound like you're speaking a foreign language. Luckily, you've got a team ready to help. Grainger's technical product specialists are fluent in maintenance, repair, and operations. So whenever you want to talk shop, just reach out. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.